Hello, I want to use this time to thank you for responding to our video, the last one we put up. And I remember when we were presenting, one of the things we said was to send your questions. So this happens to be the first question we have had, and that came from Mr. John. Mr. John asked a very interesting question. It sounds funny to some people, but this is real. In some part of the world, these are still happening, especially in the African countries. You see, one man marries several wives. I happen to have been from that kind of a background. Well, that's by the way. But Mr. John's question is, his great grandfather married about 100 wives, and the last one just passed on recently. And his question is, what do women want? Because he interviewed the last wife that just passed on about the great grandfather, if he knew what women really want. I think that is something similar to what we find in the Bible. Now, I have my Valentine here, and I want her to help me answer this question, and I'll make my input as much as possible. Like, I mean, that's why we are here. So, sweetheart, what do women want? I hope you know all that women want.
No, I don't. But what I would do here is to give justice to the men, to the women rather, because if Mr. John's father or great-grandfather, he said, married up to 100 wives, then that means that he was looking for something. And I think the question should have rather been, what do men want?
Oh my God.
But on this note of what women want, what I would say here is women are not necessarily looking for your bank account, especially in this era when women can make their own money.
Absolutely.
And they are more in control. I would say that women are looking for a trustworthy person.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they are looking for someone they can trust. Because you see, we are more emotional and we are more relational. So we want to be able to, when we relate with a man, to know that he can be trusted with our information, he can be trusted with how we feel, and he can also take responsibility. That's another aspect.
Okay.
A woman wants a man that is responsible, because men are more irresponsible if they don't understand why they should be responsible. So the tendency is to be more irresponsible in relationship, fidelity, in different things that capture the man's attention and takes him away from the home, as it were, are there. So a woman wants a man to be more responsible. And the last thing I would say, I know it's not last, but these are just a few things I would pick here.
Okay.
The last thing is that a woman wants someone that will provide. That's key.
Okay.
A woman can bring in her money, but even if she makes more money than the man, she expects that if she asked him for £100 or 20,000 naira or $5,000 or whatever currency you're using, he doesn't keep saying, I don't have it. I mean, it's not the fact that he doesn't have it, but the fact that there's a feeling of insecurity that is created around that unavailability, and consistent unavailability of it not being there. A woman feels insecure at that point. Now, having said that, I want to add again that a lot of women are more independent today, more independent. So it's not that they are really asking for the money, so to say, but they are asking for security, if I would use that word. So yes, the woman would need someone to provide, someone to feel more secure around someone that is responsible and what did I say the first time? Someone that is trustworthy.
Okay.
So I hope women you agree with me. If you do, please just drop your comment. If you don't, drop your comment. I will take it in good faith. But those are the key things. Then you can add more of what you believe you want as a woman, or if you're a man and you know what a woman wants or what your woman wants, please drop it for us and we'll appreciate that.
Great. I think that has said most of the things that women want. I would also want to add that the little I know, and you would believe me that I know quite a little bit about these people. One, my mother was my friend. Number two, my wife is my best friend in the whole wide world. Number three, I live in the midst of women. Can you imagine that? I live in the midst of women. So I have a bit of an idea. I take interest in how they do their hair and all that.
Oh, he has 4 daughters. That's what he means.
Okay. All right. So this is it. It's not something to overgeneralize. Because while the need of one woman will be the emotional security, but note the word security. The need of another woman is economic security. The need, and note, we're not talking about the want, we're talking about the need. Or what one considers to be the need, the felt needs. Because that's important. You might see them and think, this is what this person really needs. But the person has what she sees to be the felt needs. And of course, that's what she will go for. That's what is going to drive her. That's what is going to affect the way she responds or reacts to you. So it's important to know that every woman is not the same, especially in this 21st century. She has made a very strong point. Most women are not just going around looking for a man who will care for all their needs because they are too exposed, too leveraged, too stable financially, and they don't have that as the primary reason. So it's good to understand, who is this woman I am living with or I want to live with? That is very important. It's good to find out the background. It's good to understand where the person is or what is the vision of this woman. Because if she's heading somewhere higher than where you are going, you're likely going to mistake that this is what she needs, whereas she has a different need. So this calls for having that time to communicate, the time to be connected and be sharing to find out or to know. Listen to the unspoken language, listen to the spoken language, the things that repeat from time to time. Maybe it comes up when she's not happy or she's very excited. Those are times to really listen to what she really needs, quote and unquote.
You're right.
Yeah, because you were asking about what women want. Women want several things. There are those who have children already, but they want a husband. And you wonder, but she has children, especially in an African setting. You think that a woman should marry because she wants children. There are several women who have children, but they want a husband. And the husband might be there and is not there. They want that attention. The much I know, but it's important to know the background of this woman you are interested in. And I want to discourage any man from wanting to marry too many wives. I mean, one woman is enough. One woman is enough to satisfy you. I mean, in whatever you want from a woman. You don't need 2. You don't need 3. I mean, to think of 10 or 100. It was the madness of those days. Well, it was the glory of those days. Alright? In those days, they used to know how powerful a man is by the number of women. And they had reasons. My father married 5. And one of the reasons is he was capable. He could, but the latter part of his life, that wasn't very favorable. Because the demands that came upon him were too much for him in one lifetime. We from 5 wives, you can imagine that children will be many. So it's important for you to take note of that. And I believe that others listening in. And if you have your questions, please send in your question. We want to answer your questions. We do want to answer your questions. We want you to know how important you are. As much as we can, we'll use this avenue to solve your problems, answer your questions. At least once every week we take a question. So I don't know what else you have to add to what I have said.
I think we've did justice to quite some of this unwritten and background of women. You know, no woman comes to a man today to say, these are what I expect from you, and you know, hands in a kind of list. But like he has said, a man can detect or discern what that woman needs. And I also want to say here as a little, you know, side warning, you know, don't jump into a relationship with the wrong premise. And what I mean by that is, don't carry with you, I want my man to always do this for me, or to always provide for me, or always bring me flowers and, you know, have this kind of a thing. Why? Because these things change as we age. And if you're marrying a woman because she has long hair, what when she cuts the hair? If you're marrying a woman because she has money in her account, what when there's no money in the account?
That's true.
You know, so these are the wrong premises that if we base our relationships on, it will surely crumble one day when those things are not there. So let's, you know, review our motives again, and you know, take those bold steps. Don't be scared to take the steps. I think that one of the things that keeps us back as women from, you know, getting into relationships is fear.
Good.
Fear.
That's powerful. And I want you to check on my page. You're going to see the link that takes you to where we talk about being able to apply a very simple technique to overcome the fear of entering into a relationship. Now, I want you to note, you need to be afraid of entering into a relationship if you don't have any form of guidance.
Okay.
If you are not updated, you really have a reason to be afraid, and be very, very afraid. If you are not taught, because what the press does, what you see on the internet, most of those teachings that you find on dating sites are not interested in you. They're interested in how much money you will be putting in. Now, having said that, I'm not saying that that happens to all. There are some that are genuine, and they are giving genuine lessons. But where the emotional aspect, the sentiments and all that, they are the main basis for which you should start a relationship. For instance, somebody has just been disappointed by a partner in a relationship, and then you run to the internet. You're likely going to find somebody who is like you.
Follow up from where you start.
And the person is also hurting. You are hurting. You need to know how to deal with the hurt, overcome it, so you enter into a relationship, a new relationship, on a very clean note. I hope that comes across clear. Well, we don't want to take too much of your time. All we want is, if you have any question on your mind, which I believe you do, please put it down. If you send your question with a video, I promise that I will give you a bonus, and it will be full of value. Believe me when I say it is a bonus full of value. Well, sweetheart, thank you so much for all the contributions.
And thank you so much for being here with us for the minutes we've been here, just to help people. We are here to help people, you know, handle life issues. So thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you on next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, and happy Valentine.